So whether to be on Molytown platform, oh boy, me and the Molytown platform, palava. What up, Mr. Boy Deliby? Welcome to another episode of Deliby's podcast. Today we'll be doing something unorthodox from what we have been doing on the podcast. You know, I'll be bringing up a guest who reflects the norm of us chasing our own path and becoming successful in it, you know, without going through the regular Cameroon rules and regulations and paths and, let's just say, the way that was shown to us in the past that we have to go through to be successful. This guy actually took his own route, you know, did what he loved and mastered it in the business sense until he became successful. Okay, it's for most of you guys who watch, like me, who watch mangas and animes and comics, this guy is a Cameroonian who actually has a successful comic worth millions, you know, and he's actually releasing the season 2 of I think that's his most popular show, Anarchy. So yeah, I don't think, maybe some guys who have been watching that show don't even know the guy is a Cameroonian, you know. And I have him here today. We'll be having him as a guest on the podcast, and his name is called Ejob. Is it Ejob? Because Westerners call it Ejob. And me and him say Ejob. Me like Cameroonian, that's how I pronounce Ejob. But when I see Westerners and white guys call it, they call it Ejob. So he will tell you the actual pronunciation and the journey and all these things. We'll discuss all these things. Like you guys know, I bring guys here who have something similar, which I have something similar with. Like if I can relate to some part of their journey or what they do, that's how I bring them here. Because in that case, we have a lot to talk about, like experiences and the rest, you know. So before we get him here, if you're watching us for the first time, click that subscribe button down to become part of the family. When you click the subscribe button, click the bell. When you click the bell, put it on. Okay? Yeah, so now let's get Ejob. Now Ejob. Let's get Ejob. We'll get Ejob online. Okay?
Stories. So
Yeah.
it drives a particular interest in people to see something really new, something really fresh, because African comics is really fresh, it's really new.
Yeah.
The artwork, the storytelling, everything is fresh. So
Yeah.
that's one of the advantages we have. And talking about money making in comics in Africa, there's so many ways you can do it. You can license your characters to advertising agencies. They
Yeah.
money in advertising. So that's one of the ways we do to generate income. Understand? So we do crowdfunding campaigns like Kickstarter, like you were saying. So
Yeah.
And when our app was still on, we used to have a lot of subscribers on our app. We have about 1,000 returning subscribers. It wasn't much, but it was something.
Yeah. Coming from Cameroon, that's a lot. Trust me.
Yeah.
Because $1,001 in Cameroon, that's $1,000. That's, to somebody living in Cameroon, that's something reasonable.
Yeah, that's something. So
Yeah.
you can easily be poor doing comics, but you can
Exactly.
also make money. So you have to be very smart about it. You have to develop very innovative business practices to be able to survive in this industry. If you want to take it the old traditional way of doing it, you're not going to make it, man. There are a lot of artists. There's so many artists out there. Everybody's trying to push in content to viewers, to readers. So you have to be very tactful and very smart about how you do it.
The whole thing
Can't
is
do it like
creating an
it used to be
ecosystem.
done.
Yeah, you have to just create
Yeah.
your own ecosystem for yourself, something that works for a market for yourself, because everybody is just pushing it out, a niche. Exactly. Everybody is pushing out their content to mainstream. But for you to stand out, you have to have a niche and all that. But the few guys who gravitate towards your art, okay, how do you retain them? That's how you build it built that company a community. So you have to find a way to keep retaining them. That's why I like the idea of the app.
Yeah, and one thing I always tell people is that don't try to sell to everyone. That's the whole point of having a niche.
Yeah.
Don't try to sell to everyone, because we have had people come to us in the past and ask us, why don't we tell stories for this kind of characters, for this type of people? So, no. we are a particular niche, and we are going to stick to their niche. We are African creators. If you want something else, there's no shortage of content in the world. You'll find it elsewhere.
Yeah.
So we are focused on what we want, and we know where we are going into. If you have a particular type of stories we're telling, even if it's fantasy, even if it's science fiction, even if it's romance, whatever the genre, there is a particular editorial direction we're going in.
So getting from I know putting together a team wasn't I just can't think about, because you're the first, me, like what I'm saying, you're the first person I can see that came from Cameroon and actually has a working structure for comic. Like, to be honest, like I said, I used to paint, I used to draw, and I wanted to do it. I can still paint. I know you're familiar with Benny Mukuri. I know you're familiar with him. Yeah, there are some things, he always draws some things and I color it, and I just, I can also paint and I can do all that. But the whole idea of marketing it, creating that whole structure of, I just think is,
that's the hard part.
That's the hard. Like,
the easy part is creating. The hard part is selling.
Marketing.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, selling that product. So you have to think about marketing it from 1, 2, 3, like the stages. I'm just counting the stages now. The first stage, when you have the product in your hand, and that's the first stage. The second stage is, okay, how do you reach out? Second stage, how do you make it a thing? So every time you release, those guys know, okay, this guy is releasing. How do you brand the name of the comic book production? How do you brand the name so you have fans that every time you release a product, they say, oh, this guy has a new manga titled this, and I'm used to him doing this, and I know he's great at doing this. So if he's releasing this, I'll definitely mess with it. So that whole idea.
It's really about identifying what people are interested in, particularly the market you're trying to target. What are they interested in? There is an influx of mobile phones, or technology has come and made things very easy to reach out to people nowadays. And there is the myth that books or something like that, people don't read.
People don't read.
Goes around.
I still think I don't know. I believe the myth too, because I don't watch TV. But people do read comics too, because
of course.
I enjoy the feel when you smell that paper. The smell of it, like you cherish it. It's like a collector's item. That's how you treat physical comics now.
In the past, I was told not to get into comics with good reason. Anybody was saying that probably had good reason to tell me that, and I understood why they were saying that. There's no money in comics, blah 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 blah. The thing is, people need to do research before they talk at times. That's it.
Yeah.
So I didn't just take no for an answer. I decided to go to the field. We actually went to the field on Cameroon, did research on the ground to see if this is something that has potential to work or not.
It has.
And we realized I didn't just want to listen to people that, okay, don't do it. No, go to the field and find out if it's really something you shouldn't do or something you should do.
Yeah.
And one thing, our research, we did a research in 2016. Yeah. One thing it confirmed to us is that we are not the only ones who like what we do. It's not possible. There is no way you can be the only one in the universe who likes what you do.
Yeah.
If you love comics, there are 100,000 people who love comics. That is the reality of it.
Yeah.
So with this reality, we decided, okay, let me put together a team. This was really the toughest part of the journey. Putting people together to come and work together, because that is one of the toughest things to do. Finding the right people. I had at least 30 people in the beginning, but now we are a steady team of 12. 13. So you see that across time, I had to cut off some people, set them aside, because they were not really, they did not really understand the vision of this time. People come in, maybe if they want to get momentary fame, they want to get they want to be seen, things that don't really advance the culture and all that. And with time, I realized that for this to work, I needed a strong team. And eventually, thank God, I have a very strong team. I'm very proud of everyone in the team.
Okay.
I will not part ways with anyone in this current team. These guys are remarkable, they're really remarkable. And one of the things I realized is comics are interesting when you tell stories that are relatable.
Boom.
When you're creating, it doesn't matter. When you're creating a superhero, or if you're creating a superhero story, or a slice of life story, it has to be relatable. Anarchy, for one, it's a science fiction story or Afrofuturism story. It doesn't really look like the Cameroon of today. Yeah. But the characters are done in a way where they feel human. Yes, there are characters who have powers and all that, but that does not mean that you should not be able to relate to them. There are some things that cut across maybe superpowers and all that. There are some things that are natural to humans. So your characters should feel like they are people. Understand? One of the biggest criticisms of comics today is that they are telling stories that people don't relate to, people don't want, or they are becoming very political and all that. Yeah. And those are the type of things that I usually tell young or other comic book creators to avoid. Focus on telling people stories, because people go to this thing for escapism. People go to this thing to experience new realities. Yeah. And they go to these things for entertainment. They're not going there for you to keep them more of what they see every day. Every day, yeah. Don't go. They don't want all your political BS and all that. They want to go and relax, man. They want escapism. So there are a lot of things that people need to consider before getting into the business for it to work. Yeah. Because you can't do it like it has been done in the past. It won't work. So that's it, bro. Yeah. Really okay.
Talking about when you wanted to start the company, some guys told you not to do it and all those things. I can relate. And growing up, you said if you liked it, you did what you like. Okay. Tell me who Ejob in, let's just say, secondary school was like, because that's where the whole love for it came from. Watching all these mangas, reading all of them. Like, how was it like? What really pulled you? Because every kid or everybody who gets into, let's just say, the age where they can actually reflect, not like reflect for themselves, but they can actually say they like this. At one point in their life, they tell themselves, I can see myself doing this. But yeah, what was the point in that whole journey that made you say, you know what? What were the things that made you say, I can actually do this? Because for my own case, it was in a stage where while I was in school, and there's also one thing that I faced difficulty drawing. I could draw everything or draw everything great. But there's one thing that I face difficulty is drawing, and everybody will make fun of it, that this guy can draw somebody, like paint somebody on a piece of paper, but you cannot draw a fish. It was funny. It was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. Yeah, that you can draw everything like picture perfect, but you cannot draw a fish. Like they just make 8, like in those days they just say make 8 and put mouth, ears and all. But I couldn't. Yeah, it was funny. But in those days, and I also draw like manuals, guys who approach you for you to draw, fill up their lab manuals and all these things, and guys who approach you because you like drawing, all those things just because you see guys approaching you for all those things, it gave you the excitement, to do it and make it. So explain to me, how was a job in secondary school like? What was the journey like?
My reality is not very far from yours as far as that is concerned. In the sense that I was known to be the guy who likes to draw. I would
Guilty as
literally
charged.
draw on everything that's permitted drawing to happen on. If I could draw on a piece of wood and get away with it, I would do it. My hand was always just busy. Just trying to scribble something somewhere.
Try to come up with your own stories.
You can imagine the way my books were.
Same.
All the covers were and I used to have I used to actually create stories and draw them. I used to do a lot of spin-off stories. I had this story called Machinery Guy.
Yeah.
It was actually, when I think about the name now, it just sounds weird. It was actually a spin-off of the Terminator.
Yeah.
I used to like the Terminator, so I would go and create my own story based on the Terminator character. I also created another story called Android Cop or Andro Cop, based from RoboCop. You understand? So I used to do this a lot, man. I just wanted to tell stories. Eventually, life caught up with me, and I stopped for some time after. When I got to university, I stopped and started focusing on other things, trying to be a lawyer, deceiving myself that I want to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
And all that. And eventually, I think it happened in 2016, just around when the crisis started, the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon.
Yeah.
When I decided, you know what? I want to tell comics full time. I want to tell stories full time.
Yeah. I
want to bring a team together because I didn't just want to do it, the guy the solo, like a solo artist who just does his stories and publishes, looks for a publisher. I wanted to actually create actual impact on the ground. I saw that, okay, there are comic book artists, there are talented guys in Cameroon, Africa, and all that. But how do you monetize your craft? Everybody's doing this thing for fun, for free, and all that. I wanted to do something and be able to monetize it at the same time because I didn't see myself actually practicing law, which, by the way, I was very good at.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do what I was passionate and still be able to make a living of it. And I didn't just want to do it alone. I wanted to do it at a grand scale, which means that I will eventually need to work with a team.
Yeah.
So I had to sell this dream to a couple of other guys, and together we came up with Zebra Comics. So secondary school to now, it's the same me. It has not changed.
Yes.
It's this guy who just loves to tell stories, who loves to draw.
Mine has just been.
I'm just stubborn. I just had to be stubborn throughout for this to happen.
Listen, the genius in the world. Like, people always say Kanye West is crazy. He said, name one genius who ain't crazy, because they always prove to be stubborn. They always stick to their vision. They always stick to what they believe will work. And when they stick to it, they perfect it. You know?
Yeah, you have to be stubborn, man. You have to
be to achieve, to bring out your vision, what is in your head, to actually put it on a piece of paper or to actually make it a reality. You have to go against the grain or the majority. So the team, building the team.
It's strange when we tell people, or when people realize that Zebra Comics is actually employing 13 people full time.
Yeah.
Zebra Comics is actually feeding families from comics in Africa. It's strange when, at a certain point in time, I think it was in January, just this year, I actually had a reflection. I actually sat back and I said, we've kind of achieved our goal in here. We're feeding ourselves off this thing, and it was a strange realization that you can be stubborn and actually follow your dream, and it actually works. We are nowhere near our real objectives, but at least you can see that it's working.
But from where you started, you've gone far. Yeah.
And man, that's like 7 years ago. Oof.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where you are right now, it may not be the picture perfect success, like aim or goal you have in mind, but comparing it to where you were, let's just say when you started, you've gone far. Like that's just how it is.
Good
Gone far.
example.
Yeah. So that's the team part of it. Like I also wanted to talk about the team part of it. Assembling a team in the beginning. I know there's a lot of things that make teams break off. Like you say, you started with 30 and now you have just 13. The financial part of it, that's what caused most of these things to break up.
Definitely.
Sustainability, sustaining that team financially. So I know Kickstarter you have, because most even video games they have their funding from Kickstarter. You have comics that have their funding from there. Even Patreon, some of them have it through Patreon and all that. Yeah. So how have that journey been, or is that the main source of the funding or the sustainability of the Zebra Comics family or the firm?
Like I said before, we license a lot of our IPs or our characters to advertising agencies.
Yep.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. It's just that this thing has a timer. So, yep, I'm back.
So we license some of our characters
Yeah.
to advertising. There's a lot of money in advertising.
Yeah.
We do crowdfunding.
Yep.
We do crowdfunding. These are our major sources. We have Kickstarter, we have Indiegogo, we also have Start Engine.
Yeah.
So these are various platforms where we are able to raise funds and run our operation. We do a Kickstarter every 2 months. Well, that's the new policy. We do it every 2 months. And we are focused on selling out only Anarchy for now. So Anarchy is the only product I'm selling for now. Like I said,
and one thing on this show, you curse. You can curse if you want. So it's YouTube.
Oh,
so
awesome, man.
yeah, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Hey, if you've watched my previous shows, you see I say fuck, shit, and everything. So I'm going that segue. I wanted to say, and that shit is selling the fuck out. Like Anarchy is on Kickstarter is selling the fuck out. That's what I wanted to say, because I noticed that when we started talking, you were trying to, let me PG, working the PG line, and I was like, come on, bro, feel free, shoot it out. So creating content to me, I took another path. That's where I learned graphic designing, like video editing, sound engineering, and everything, because I wanted to create content. I felt like
generating code.
Me was creating content, and right now I can actually say what I'm generating in a month from what I did or from what I studied by myself, not what the conventional way of what the Cameroon norm said I should. If they have to compare me to a civil servant in Cameroon, I don't think
there's no money in the government.
That's what I say. But in Cameroon, they just believe you have to get into the government, like grade 1, grade A, grade B, all this. But the money they make, I can actually employ some of them now.
Yeah, of course.
Pay a lot of them now.
My guys here earn more than most civil servants. And what do? They draw. That's what they do.
This is what I do. I do sound engineering, I do graphic designing, and I direct and edit movies. And do you know how much, like, what I make in a week? Like, goddamn, And that's what, and this one thing I appreciate, like this one thing I realize, when we chase our dreams and become stubborn in actually chasing these dreams, when we finally start bringing resources or revenue back to where we came from.
And one thing we have to always make clear about chasing dreams is to be smart about it.
Exactly.
Someone can just chase a dream. You can listen to us and say, okay, let me chase my dream.
But without strategy.
Mess up. Without strategy. Like I was telling you earlier, when I was told not to do this thing, I didn't just listen.
Yeah.
They had a point, actually. They had very good reasons for it.
Yeah, of course.
So, but before I take their reasons into consideration, I have had to go into the field, do research, come back, draw up strategies, work smart. Understand? It's not just a point of chasing your dreams
Yeah.
just in a crazy manner. You understand? You have to think
Yeah.
this through. You have to think this through. Otherwise, you're going to mess up big time. Big time.
Yeah. Because what I tell
Yeah.
like most of my subscribers, because I always do networking marketing and all these things, I always talk with them on that. What I say is, okay, I had a vision and I had a dream. You guys see me and you look up to me and you see what I have, or you see my goal and you want to achieve it. What I did was, I had a dream, I had a goal, I had something in my mind. I had to break it up into steps. You have to say each step. You have, everybody has an idea in their mind, they have an achievement in their head, but to get to that achievement, you have to ask yourself, what are the paths, like the steps you need to take, what are the tools you need,
And for the
to
most
get
part,
to
you
that
don't
point.
have to. There's one thing I always tell guys is don't try to be too innovative. Be innovative, but not too much.
Too much.
You
Yeah.
understand? You use what works. You understand?
Boom.
If you have seen a system that works somewhere, just use
Yeah.
it, man. Use the system. You don't need to. You can create your own patch now, because what we're doing is we're using a system that works as Zebra. Now, the
Yeah.
only difference is that we are having a niche product,
Yep.
which is simply African comics. Just the African part of it. That's just it.
Yeah.
Everything else is tailored to function like a normal comic book publishing house
Yeah.
in the 21st century. You don't have to be too innovative, because at times when you're too new, people don't relate to what you're providing. You have to be gradual with your innovation. You don't have to come in with so much force. You have to take it gently. You understand?
Yeah.
It applies the same way we tell our stories. There is this myth that superhero stories are dead.
Yeah.
As Zebra Comics, we
It's
try not
never
to focus
dead.
too much on super. Yeah, we try not to focus too much on superheroes, because personally, I'm a fan of stories that are larger than superheroes.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it is the way you tell the story that matters. It is really about the way you tell the story. Understand? People are not really tired of seeing similar things on screen or reading similar things. It's just the way you tell it. It's just the way you tell it.
Yeah.
Don't be too new, but be new nevertheless. It's not too much.
Mhm.
You understand? When you're too innovative, it cuts people off instead. You have to gradual with your innovation. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I think we've pretty much covered almost everything. Not cover everything, but I had a lot of questions to ask. It's like when you answer this question, you give an answer to like 20 more questions I wanted to ask. Like every time you talk,
it's
like
good. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's like, okay, I already know myself. I already know what I'm doing. I already know everything. So if this guy is asking this question, it means he wants to know all this, or everybody who is listening may want to know all this. And maybe this guy asking, he may know the answers, but he wants these guys to hear all this. So when you're talking, you just spray everything out. And that's one thing I enjoyed from this conversation. And it's an honor having you on the podcast with me. I know you have a meeting that you have to run to. I don't want to make this thing too long because my podcast, to me, I tried to make this thing not as an interview. A podcast, we just kick ideas, like talk about the similarities we have. Yeah. Because my podcasts always go for like 2 hours, like 1 hour, but you have a meeting. So I can't keep you here, Yeah.
It's nice talking with you, actually. You can talk some more, but on actually, you talk some more.
Yeah.
And really get to maybe talk about other things, man.
Yeah, we had a lot. We could talk about other things, but for now, I just wanted like this an introduction. This is the first time you're coming on to the podcast, so I want guys to know the foundation. He owns Zebra, not like he owns Zebra Comics. He owns Zebra Comics. I wanted to flex on that and say he owns Zebra Comics, but you just said it's a partnership between you and your guys. So, but me, you know how we do it. We still say my guy owned this shit. It's the flex like he owned this shit. But he had just destroyed the flex I wanted to flex. But I enjoy having him here because the stories he has narrated was just like narrating my own life, because he got there, man. The painting and drawing side of it, that's what I had, because I'll give you my website, molytown.com. I have, like, from there you see also the umbrella that I have, like my own chain. So when I saw you and Zebra Comics, what you're doing with Zebra Comics, I just told myself, oh my God, it's me. Like, this guy just like, there are so many of us out there. I came from Cameroon. you know,
Yeah.
there's so many of us
That,
that came from Cameroon, and I would like to link up with them. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. That's always the part that is strange to people. They were doing this from Cameroon.
yeah, he came from Cameroon, and he is in Cameroon. Not somebody like me who thought, okay, I left Cameroon, that's why it's working, but he's actually in Cameroon and making it work. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
and I would like
The
that,
boy
and I
is
yeah
smuggling.
appreciate yeah. I appreciate having you here, and I hope we'll have more time to chit chat like this and kick more ideas. I even talk about a lot life because out
Yeah,
of the comic
yeah,
book,
yeah,
out of the creative life, like a creator's lifestyle, we like creating
yeah,
content. I love creating content. That's just what
yeah.
we have in common. You know, out of the
Awesome, man.
but out of it, we have life. We have things that we view in life. We have things that we enjoy about life. You know, so maybe the next time we come here live, we'll just be kicking it like, bro, it's in this, so you pass my heart. Yeah, you see that scene, and what do you enjoy? I know you like making
I
this, but
swear
I
to
know you
God.
enjoy something from this guy too. You know. Yeah, because me, I also
Yeah,
enjoy comics in as much as I like watching, or in as much as I like reading anarchy. I just stumbled upon something new too, but I will not plug it here because yeah, but I stumbled on like it's something mainstream. I believe most guys are watching it now, but yeah, it blew my mind. Like the concept blew my mind. Same thing with anarchy,
mm-hmm.
it blew my mind. You know, and I
Thanks,
just
man.
said,
Thanks.
yeah, I just said, man, we need to protect these guys, man. we need to we need to we need to protect these like their asset, valuable assets. We need to protect them. We need to
Yeah,
protect Zebra Comics and make sure it gets to where it's supposed to be. Because the umbrella I had this vision of the comic book line, but not me actually creating it, but I can
mm-hmm.
executive direct it, and create
Mm-hmm.
it. And I'll take part in the distribution and the marketing since my firm already
Mm-hmm.
has that side of it. That was what I wanted to do, like in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to solidify the production side of it, the movie side, because I'm directing series now, which I want to pitch to Netflix, and
Mm-hmm.
directing like web series, which I'll be giving out for free, like building, creating celebrities. I'm
Mm-hmm.
building stand-up comedians now, which I want to create these stand-up comics who will be making specials. Those are things that are missing in
Yeah,
Cameroon. Like I'm already
yeah,
building
yeah.
all of those things. So every like the creators, that those are the guys I'm targeting in Cameroon. The creators.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the
yeah.
comic side of it was supposed to be because I can relate to it because still today I still like painting, but I just don't do it professionally because that is a market
Yeah.
that you need to take it serious if you
Master.
want to make it look
Yeah,
creative,
yeah.
you know. So down the line I
Definitely.
wanted to, yeah, I wanted to do that and create a marketing structure for it. But when I saw that, okay, Zebra Crossing has its own niche, he has a way of marketing it, that comic that works. I just say, you know what? Yeah, he has taken that thing off my hand. And I'm glad it's a Cameroonian that did it. so if we,
Thanks,
so
bro.
yeah,
Thanks.
so I'm glad it's a
I appreciate it.
Cameroonian that has
Appreciate it.
done it. So
Appreciate it.
if down the line we have original stories that need partnership, I already know a
Yeah.
big company that we can do a partnership deal like the
Awesome.
royalties
Awesome.
and marketing and make it something bigger. I already know
Yeah,
somebody we
yeah.
can link it to, and I'm also happy that you guys are coming up with that animation studio. That's so I
Yeah.
love watching
Yeah.
animated comics.
Definitely.
I
That's
binge
definitely
watch those things with my free time a lot.
yeah.
You know.
Actually binge watch a lot of anime on Netflix. It's one
Yeah,
of my
me too.
favorite things to watch these days.
Okay. Rapid fire. What is the last anime you watched on Netflix?
Um hmm. What's the thing again? Zeus what? Son of
Yeah,
Zeus?
Zoo. Yeah,
Blood
no,
of
Blood
Zeus
of
was the last
Zeus.
thing
I
I
think.
watched.
I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
watched
that's the
it,
last thing I
but I
watched.
think. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I've seen the trailer. The thing has been popping up on my timeline
Yeah,
a lot, on the
yeah,
home screen a lot.
yeah.
But I'll watch it. But what I'll recommend you maybe to watch.
There is, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll recommend
Recommend.
you to
It's the
watch.
weekend, man.
Yeah, it's
It's the
the
weekend.
weekend. I'll recommend you to watch. You binge that thing
Recommend.
in just a day. I think in 4 or 5 hours. Record of Ragnarok.
You know what's funny?
That
That
is
was what I was
mind
about to
blowing.
tell you. That was what I was about to tell you.
God.
I left the house this morning and I turned on the TV and Netflix was like record of Ragnarok. And I'm like, I think I should try this when I come back. You understand? And
Boy!
you're not telling me to binge
When I
watch it.
s-
Okay.
the
it's done.
idea.
I'm watching it.
No, I'm not. I will
Don't
not
say
spoil
anything,
it.
don't spoil
Yeah,
it.
I will not spoil it. But the idea was just mind blowing. When I saw it, I was just like, maybe they're just trying to talk about the Greek methodology and this God's method. But when I saw the first episode and saw what it was about, I said, let me see. The next episode made me feel like, oh shit.
Okay, that's enough. Don't say no more.
Trust me, you become a fan, and I'm now hyped for them to release the season 2. I don't want to read the comic now because I don't want to spoil it. I'm already hooked with the anime, so I don't want to read the comic.
Yeah.
I just want to stick to the anime now. Yeah. So thank you for tuning in. Let me not keep you here for so long. Thank you a lot, and I appreciate it. And I hope I get you back. And I hope we make time that we can kick it for longer than this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
Definitely.
yeah. So I think I'll end it here. So